Hey, what's up guys, this is Jawad and I brought another video. This video is going to be very interesting because I brought a real scenario where we are going to use VLAN on a building on first floor and then on the ground floor. So I'm going to perform a lab where I'm going to show you how you can control the wireless connectivity, how you can control those departments. You don't want them to talk to each other. Let's suppose you have three departments. You have a IT department, you have a HR department, and then you have an access point. Now the access point available to the business, to the public. So I'm talking about over here a small business, not a very big business, because they can afford a firewall, they can afford a new connection, they can do many things for security. But if you are a small business and you wanted to live with one switch and with DHCP server, then I'm going to show you how you can separate your wireless connection from your IT and HR. So let's suppose if you don't do that, if someone gets control over your wireless access point, he can ping to your other departments and he can grab all of your data, he can hack into it. So if you are looking at my screen, the objectives of the lab is we are going to create 3 VLANs: IT, HR and guests. So we are going to add wireless points for guest users, either we can say for the users in the company. Even though those users have cell phone, we don't know if those users are IT or HR. And then the third thing is make sure what we are going to do, that we are going to make sure that the guest user don't talk to HR and IT department. And then the same thing, IT implies we don't want them to access the HR. So guys, I'm here at the packet tracer, and as I showed you, I created this simple diagram. This is not very complicated. We have two floors, the first floor and then the ground floor. And on the first floor we have a department, and we have some people from HR and some people from IT department. And the same thing is for the ground floor. We have a people from HR and from IT department. So we wanted to keep all the departments separate. Let's suppose how many VLANs we are going to perform. We are going to perform a VLAN for HR people. Let's suppose the HR person is sitting here, HR person is sitting on the top. So we are going to create our first VLAN, and then we are going to create our second VLAN for the people sitting here. These are the IT people. Now the third VLAN is going to be the VLAN for our access point. And so why we are doing this, we don't want, because this is a public access point and it's in our building. Let's suppose we have a guests or our customers, they are coming into the building and they are connecting to the access point, but we don't want them to access our HR and IT department. So because our limited resources, we don't want to add new equipment, any firewall, and we don't want a new cloud, internet. And we want to configure everything in the available resources. So what we are going to do, we are going to create 3 VLANs. So the VLANs, as I told you, don't talk to each other, and this is a good security at layer 2. And layer 2 switches, if you wanted to perform this security, you need to do a little configuration. So you can see over here some smartphone are connected to this access point. We can connect some of them on the top. So let's get started. So guys, let me show you how I configured the DHCP server. On the DHCP server, you need to go here, and before you go to the services, you go here on the IP address. You can provide IP. So for here I'm going to provide 1-1, and then I will go to the services, and on the services I'm going to DHCP server service. I'm going to turn it on, and then I will provide the 1-0 and then the subnet mask for C. So maximum number of hosts I'm going to assign 50, and I'm not going to provide TFTP or VLC address, and I will hit save button. And then after hitting the save button, what I'm going to do, I will come back to any computer, and on the computer I will go to the desktop on the IP, and then I will click on the DHCP and wait a few seconds. So if you look here, the IP has been assigned automatically, which is a 3, and then I will close it, and I will do it with all other devices. Oh, it's assigned already too. And then I will go here, desktop, IP address, DHCP 7, and then we'll go here, and then IP address, and then 8, 7 and 8. So I'm going to assign the IP address. Now I would like to see if so we should configure the access point. I will go to the access point. Access point is actually your Wi-Fi at home. It should have the same configuration as you have and at the home. So you can go into the setting, you can go into the port 1, port 0. If you go into the port 1, you will see over here the SSID is default, but I'm going to change the SSID. SSID is actually the ID when you search Wi-Fi and you see the name on your phone or your computer to connect. That's called SSID. So the first floor SSID, I'm going to double F capital, and I will leave the channel at it is. It's a 2.4 not 5 gigahertz, and then I will go ahead and provide the security WPA, and I will type ABC, maybe capital ABC 123. This is my password. I will go ahead and copy the password, so that way I can memorize the password. So this is configured over here. Now what I'm gonna do, I will close over here, and password should be maximum 8 and maximum 63 character long. So let's go back, and we need to go here, and we need to provide a password which is going to be ABC 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, and then I will copy the password, and then I will close it. So this time we did not receive the error because that was the password complexity in requirement were showing me that I need at least 8 character password. But now as we want to connect this smartphone with this access point, we will go to this smartphone, and then under the configuration, display name is a smartphone, and it's already DHCP, already is a DHCP. So we will go to the wireless, and just wanted to see where I'm going to connect it. So passkey and SSID, I'm going to say SSID double F, and then whatever we copied we are going to paste here, and then I will close it, and you will see it will connect to this access point automatically after a few seconds. So this is the way we can connect different devices to the different access points. So the same thing, I wanted to connect this phone to our first floor, and I will do the same thing. And under the wireless, I will expand it first so you guys look. It's a FF, and then the password is going to be the same, and then I will close it, and this should connect to the first floor. And then on this router, I'm going to do the same configuration what we did before, instead of, because this is a ground floor, so I'm going to call GF, that girlfriend, and then I will click over here and paste the same password what we did before. So you see this cell phone has been disconnected because we changed the SSID. Now I will go back to this phone, and then we'll go to the same wireless thing. It's going to be GF, and then here I will change the password. Here you go, and then it should connect to the ground floor. Now we are gonna see if we can ping to our devices or no. So this IT guy wanted to ping this HR. So first let me see what IP this HR has. I think it's okay, 2 and 3. So this guy is going to ping, sorry about that, here, and it's going to ping 192.2, and you see it can get access. I mean, it can go to the computer, grab the files, and it's open. Same like, let's suppose these are our guests who are connected to the Wi-Fi, and what they can do, they can also ping it. If you go to the desktop, you go to the command prompt, and you want to ping, this is a outsider and he wanted to get access to our IT computer. He can grab anything because we don't have any firewall, we don't have any type of security. Now whoever is connected to our Wi-Fi, he can, we have only the password security, which is not very secure. And if it is a guest Wi-Fi, we usually do not put any type of password for the guests so they can come and connect. Now we don't want them to connect to into our system. So over here what we are gonna do, we are going to create VLANs so these guys don't connect to our computers, HR computer and IT computers. So guys, this is the time to do our important part, which is the configuration. So I'm going to get on the ground floor. First I will go to the ground floor, and I will go to the switch. On the switch I'm going to go into the CLI, where I'm going to hit enable config T. So I'm going to define the VLAN 10 for HR, 20 for IT and 30 for guests. As you can see on the screen, I already wrote on the screen. So we are going to say VLAN 10. So here we are inside the VLAN, and in the name we are going to say HR. So we will get out from the VLAN, and then we are going to type again VLAN 20, and here we are going to define the name is IT, and then we will exit out. The same thing for the guests. For the guest we are going to say VLAN 30. It does not matter, you can write in the capital or the lower letter, it doesn't matter. And on the VLAN 30 we are going to say name guest. So we will exit out. So on this point we had created all three VLANs. Now what we are gonna do, as we are on the switch 1, so this is the switch 1, so I'm going to start from IT, and as you can see where it's connected on port 11. So what I need to do is I need to go to the port 11 interface FA0/11, and over here I need to type in switch port mode access, and then switch port access VLAN 10. Why 10? Because 10 is IT. Oh, not 20 is IT, so I'm going to say 20. So 20 is IT, we already assigned it, so we are done here. And I'm going to exit here. Either you can exit, either you can go directly into another interface. Like you can type here interface fa0/2, and you will go to that interface where your switch port mode access, and then you are gonna say switch port access VLAN. What is this? HR is 10, and then that's it. Then you can write down, you can say exit. So we configured on this switch, we already configured 2 ports. Why I configured this one is for HR and this one was for IT, so it's going to take a while to connect. And then the next thing is we are going to configure FA03 for our access port. So for our wireless devices, so I'm going into the interface FA0/3, and over here the same thing, switch port mode access, and then switch port access VLAN 30, and then we're gonna say exit. So we configured all 3. Now the 4th thing, which is very important thing, and I told you, because we are over here trunking 2 switches. So FA10, which is here, this one, and FA0/3 is, they are going to be our trunk port. You can change them, you can connect on any other, but you can do how you wanted it. So we are going to interface FA0/1, and I'm going to call it switch port mode trunk. Here you go, it's up and running. So we will exit out, So I'm gonna say here write memory, just I wanted to write it, and then I will exit out. And the same thing, I will go to this switch, and on this switch, the first thing, what is the first thing? First thing is we are going to, let's go to the interface first go to enable privileges mode, and then configuration 50. You don't need to write it down all the way. And then over here you can say interface FA0/3, and on this interface you can say switch port mode trunk, and then from there you can exit out. And then we will go to the port 11, which is IT VLAN 20 HR. You can see these ports, so always look over here. This is for your this computer, this port is going to this computer, just in case if you don't know and you don't know what to do. So this is the best way, and either you can move these things and you would know which port is it connected. You can move your workstations. So let's go back to our window here, and we are gonna say interface FA0/11, and we'll switch port mode access, and then we're gonna say switch port access VLAN. What is this? IT is 20. And then so what it says, okay guys, over here very important, it says VLAN 20 does not exist. VLAN does not exist, creating VLAN 20. So it created the VLAN. So the first thing is we should create these VLAN over here. I forgot to create these VLANs on this. So if you look over here, so we should create these three things. So the first thing, exit out, and we should say VLAN 10, name HR, exit VLAN 20 we already created, and we're gonna say name IT, and then VLAN 30 and name guest. So here you go. So you have created all of them one by one. Now we got this error type of thing on the IT, so we already created. Now okay, let me erase this thing, and then okay, we are going to the interface where you're connected HR computer, which is the interface FA0/1, where you're gonna say switch port mode access, switch port access VLAN HR 10. It's gonna say, see, this time it already knows the VLAN is still there, and you can say exit, and then you can say interface the third one. Okay, so one thing, do not provide a VLAN for or your DHCP server. Why? Because the server is going to connect with all devices and going to assign IPs to all devices. Otherwise you will lose the communication between devices even within the VLAN. So just remember. So the fourth thing is interface FA0/4, which is our wireless access point. We would go there and we are gonna say switch port mode access, and then we are going to say switch port access switch port access VLAN 30, and we are exit out. So it's not gonna work here. We need to exit out, and we're gonna show VLANs. Okay, so we can see our VLANs over here. All three VLANs are active on this switch. So I'm going to close it, and I will try to ping between the computers, and we will see if we can ping between the computers or no. I will go to the IT, and I will try to ping IT with last time we pinged with the HR. So this time it should not work. So you see request timed out. So that means the IT people, they cannot ping to our what it is called HR department. They cannot access HR computers, and the same thing, the HR, they don't have access to the IT. So if I go here on this computer and go to the, and I'm going to say ping 192.168.1.2. Let me see, the IP of this computer is 3, sorry. So we can type in 3. It should not work. So it did not work. I did the fast forward actually. Okay, sorry. And then I just hit okay. So the next thing is we are going to test if we can ping IT to IT. So we will go to the IT, and over here I'm going to say maybe 2. What was the IP for this computer? 3. So I'm going to ping on the 3. See, so IT is working with the IT. Now the question is about these guys. These guys, they can talk to each other because this is a VLAN. This is one VLAN. Okay, and then we have 2 VLANs on these switches. So these phones, they can ping to each other, but not they should not ping to, let me see, This is a smartphone. Just wanted to see if he has access. It has 11 IP address, and this phone has 10. So just going to see if ping 192.168 or 1.10. Yeah, see, if they are working to each other, I mean they can access to each other, but they could not access to our HR department. This is our HR department. She is timed out, and if I go to the IT, they even cannot ping to our IT. So this is the real world scenario. If someone asks you would they want a secure internet for the gas, so you can provide this scenario where those guys they cannot ping into our network. So this is the video. I know the video is longer than the usual, but stay connected and please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate you if you can subscribe my channel and hit on the bell icon, so you will get the notification for my upcoming videos. And in my upcoming videos I'm going to bring more knowledge. So I'm not going to bring only videos for Cisco. I have other things, I mean little bit skills on other things like the Photoshop and all those things, so I can make video on those topics too. So have a good one and stay safe from corona. Bye bye.